Welcome back to the Network Marketing Cowboy channel. If you've been around network marketing long enough, you've seen it. The push for rank, the sprint for bonuses, the end of month pressure, and sometimes it sounds like this. You're so close. Don't miss this rank. Just one more push. Now let me be clear. Goals are not wrong. Promotion is not wrong. Growth is not wrong. But when rank becomes identity, something shifts. So cowboys and cowgirls, let's get right into this one here. Let's get into part one. Jesus redefined leadership. Mark chapter 10, verses 42 through 45. Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. So let's kind of dig into this here. The disciples argued about position. Jesus responded by redefining greatness. In the kingdom, leadership flows downward, not upward. Servant leadership builds trust, and ego leadership builds insecurity. The disciples always trying to position themselves who was going to be Jesus' right-hand man. And he always tried to tamper that down because he wanted them all to elevate. But he still did not treat them as one was better than the other. And this is kind of when he was by refining what greatness really is. So always remember, Jesus never chased position. He carried the responsibility. And so in network marketing, in order for to advance rank, you have to be a good leader, a mentor, a coach in your stewardship to do this. Because if you don't, you're just using the people below you for your own rank events. And we don't like that. People don't like that. And it kind of takes you away from the kingdom mentality that we're trying to develop in network marketing. So let's get to part two. What rank chasing does to culture. Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 through 4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition. So when rank becomes the focus, people feel used instead of developed, like we was just talking about. If you're just focused on rank, you're not developing people, mentoring people, the people you sign up are going to feel used. And we don't want people to feel used. We want them to be encouraged. We want them to make sure they're part of the team. They're part of whatever identity you set up for your team. And when you're doing short-term volume, when you use short-term volume to replace long-term mentorship, that's when you lose oversight of your overall goals, of your why. Because pressure replaces peace. And we don't want that to happen because we know when pressure replaces peace, people get demotivated of trying to build their business. And we want people to build their business. We want people to be successful. And then comparison replaces collaboration. Just think about that. If you got people out there that's not collaborating within your own team, do you think that is going to elevate your team up when they're all trying to be comparing against each other, competing against each other instead of collaborating? One thing I love about the team I'm on and everything is I'm able to go across teams and cross lines and be able to collaborate with them. Talk to them about what's working with them, what's not working, what's working with us, what's not working with us. Because everybody, you start getting that bigger pool, you're going to start seeing there's not one way, do something. There's multiple different ways. And it might be with your personality, with your identity, that you might resonate with this method better than this method. And that's what we want. So just remember, like we talked about last week, last week is by creating burnout. When you're rank chasing only, you got burnout in you. You got inflated expectations. You're going to have a high turnover of people really wanting to build this business. And we don't want that. We want people to stay in this business because it's one of the best ways to break out of your 9-to-5 job is by getting into this or taking this money and investing into real estate to give you that long-lasting freedom, financial independence. So remember, when people feel like stepping stones, they eventually step away. So don't use people as stepping stones. So part 3, the difference between a builder and a leader. Go to Proverbs chapter 27, verse 23. Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. So builders focus on numbers. It's just a number game to them. Leaders focus on the people. How many great qualified people have you on your team? Because it might take you a little bit longer, but you're not going to have that burnout and turnover the builders are going to be having. Builders ask, how do I grow volume? Leaders ask, how do I grow people? Always remember that. How do I grow and serve people? Volume without development collapses. This is why you see so many people in this industry have the peaks and valleys because they don't have the long-lasting volume when they sign up people because they didn't do development. They didn't educate. They didn't get this long-lasting things. And they had these peaks and valleys. They're always out there hustling. So development creates your sustainable growth that you need to have in this business. So if your team grows faster than your leadership, it won't last. So make sure you're investing your time in how to be a better leader, how to be a steward of what you're doing here. Part 4, rank is a result, not a calling. And we used this verse last week. I'm going to reiterate this verse this week. Luke chapter 16, verse 10. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. We've used this verse a lot because when you're a great leader and you're a great steward, you're also going to be trusted with much more. So rank should reflect your leadership maturity, not pressure tactics. If you build leaders, your rank will automatically follow. If you're just chasing rank, your leadership will suffer. Being promoted is a byproduct of stewardship. Always remember, when you pursue character, rank pursues you. So it's not about the first to get there. It's about who is up there at last, standing with the most leaders right next to them. You're developing it all the way along there. Don't be the first one up there by using other people. Be there, up there with everybody you brought along with you. Because guess what? You're going to be able to stay up on there a lot longer than that person that went up there by stepping on other people. Part 5, what kingdom leadership looks like in network marketing. So 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2. Entrust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others. This is really what your mentorship is all about. Kingdom leadership means you teach people how to think, not just what to post. You celebrate effort, not just results. You build systems that protect peace. You model patience, and you value integrity over speed. Go back to Jesus. He brought in the disciples. He was teaching and trusting to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others. And he really did that by sending his disciples out to heal people too. When he did that, He qualified them to teach others. He wanted them to go out and preach his kingdom, his message. And that's what we have to do in network marketing. Now, not every single one of those disciples was preaching the same message, the same way. But they had an overall system that they was all falling into. And that's where you have to find your message, your way of delivering that in the overall system. Your legacy won't be measured by your rank. It'll be measured by who you developed. Because they're always going to remember of your lasting legacy of the lessons you taught them. Not just because you was the number one rank in the whole company. People probably won't even remember your name. But if you've taught them, you mentored them, and you gave them lifelong lessons, they're going to remember your name well into the future. They're going to talk to you about stories about you to their kids, to their grandkids. That is what true leadership is, especially in the kingdom. So wrapping this one up, you guys, there is nothing wrong with growing your business. There is nothing wrong with getting promotions. But there is something wrong when position matters more than people. Kingdom network marketing isn't about climbing ladders. It's about lifting others as you grow. So have you experienced rank pressure in a business before? If you did, what did it teach you? Please let me know. And next week, we're going to talk about integrity. Why it is the true currency of any network marketing company. And remember, cowboys and cowgirls, build leaders, build character, build slow enough to last. That's how you do it the right way. God bless you all. See you next week.